Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Now for today's video, I'm finally going to be sharing with you guys my simple, everyday, effortless 5-minute makeup routine that I've been doing really frequently, and whenever I post about this makeup look over on my Instagram, you guys seem to be wanting a tutorial. Now if I'm being very honest, I was contemplating about this for the longest while because I have so many no makeup looks, 5-minute makeup look tutorials on my channel. I was like, do I need to do another one? It's boring, repetitive and whatnot. But then I was like, I've changed my techniques. I have so many new tips and tricks to share with you guys. So of course I had to do it. Now this video is definitely going to be longer than 5 minutes because there was so much I needed to talk about. Of course, a yap queen right here, but I'm actually teaching you guys a lot of newer things, how to select your products, how to apply them and whatnot. But trust me, you can do this look in 5 minutes or even under. I do it every single time I'm running late for anything, which is perpetually most of the times. But this is such a beautiful natural look that you can pull off any day, anytime. So if you want to know how you can get this look very easily and under 5 minutes, then please keep on watching. We of course are going to start off by moisturizing our face, and I feel like we as a society have come to that place where we realize that moisturizing is a non-negotiable, because I see so many girls still coming up to me and saying my skin is way too oily, so I don't moisturize and I dive straight into makeup. And trust me when I say this, that if you don't moisturize your skin, if you don't prep your skin, no matter what kind of products you invest into, they're not going to sit naturally on your face. They're not going to adhere to your skin the way they're supposed to adhere on a well prepped base. So please moisturize. And if for some reason my recommendations don't work for you when it comes to moisturizer, because I come from Sahara Desert dry skin type, and if you're really oily and my moisturizers are always very heavy for you, please find someone who has oily skin type. Please try to find some moisturizer that would work for you, and please start moisturizing your skin. You also need to moisturize because sometimes when you're oily skin type and you don't moisturize, your skin will overcompensate and produce even more oil to make sure that you have some, moisture on your face. So you need to balance that out with a great moisturizer. Also, a quick little bonus tip here for my oily skin girls out there: if you have really oily skin and you don't know how to, balance that out, use salicylic acid, use glycolic acid in your serums and in your toners to make sure that that is sort of offset with it. Glycolic acid and salicylic acids work great for oily skin people. And for my really dry skin beauties out there, use hyaluronic acid, use things that are more moisturizing, more milky toners and all of that to add more moisture back into your skin. Now I'm going to dive straight into a moisturizer, and I have this one by Hyphen. It's their barrier care cream, and oh my god, this is such a beautiful moisturizer. It's luxuriant, it's emollient, it's thick, but it's not greasy or heavy at all. And actually I have to use the pipe that's in here because I'm almost out of it. I am almost done finishing this one up, and it has been such a joy to use it. It's so beautiful, and especially underneath makeup, this just makes your skin look so radiant and glowy, but in a way that is not unnatural. I'm not using a strobe cream today because I don't want those glittery shimmery particles on my skin. I just want something to look like my skin is just healthy naturally. Now this does come originally with a pump that's really nice as well, but I had to use my pipe because nothing is pumping out as of right now. I'm just going to blend this on my skin, and you can see how quickly this works into the skin. As soon as you start blending this in, it just melts into your skin. And I really want you to pay extra focus on your under eyes because that's one area that we are going to be really focusing on. So you want to like give it a massage or two for some times to just make sure that your under eyes are well prepped. And as soon as you're done applying your moisturizer is not when you're going to go into makeup. Honestly, jaldi ka kaam shaitan ka, and we are no shaitans here, so we're going to wait. You want this moisturizer to work into your skin, settle down into your skin. If you apply directly, like if you apply makeup directly on top of freshly moisturized skin, everything is just going to slip and slide away because there's just too much emollient on your face, right? So you want this to settle down, you want your skin to plump up, hydrate back, and then you want to move into something. If you are looking at saving time in the morning, I talked about this when I used to go to college, that as soon as I came out of the shower, I used to moisturize and do all of my skincare, and then I used to select my clothes, which sometimes took more than 5 minutes, and then I used to go into my makeup. So you can always multitask to ensure that you're not wasting too much time in the morning, or you could do anything else. Maybe make your coffee, make your pack your lunch or anything else, but you don't want to immediately start makeup once you're done moisturizing your skin. You can also give yourself a little massage if you want to like kill some time. But I'm going to go into my lip oil, which is from Russ, and this is their super plump maximizing lip oil gloss. Basically this works as a lip oil, and it also gives you a little bit of plumping effect. It has a little tingling sensation in there. If you are not a huge fan of tingling sensation, even though this is not like super tingly, it's very gentle on the lips. If you don't like that, then K has a really nice lip oil as well. There's so many companies who are doing great lip balms. Even Hyphen has a great lip balm out there, and it has a tinted version in there which works beautifully on the lips. But I've been really enjoying this one also because it gives me a natural plump and a lot of hydration onto my lips. But once you're done with all of this, wait for 5 minutes. Give your skincare some time. Honestly, this is one of the biggest tip I can give you. A lot of times when your makeup is not sitting on your face right, or if it's slipping and sliding away too quickly, it's because you've not given enough time for your skin to be prepped and to set. We're skipping on primers, strobe creams, and all of that fufu and diving directly into our concealer. Now, this is a very important decision, and I need you to pay special importance to your concealer because this is honestly one of the most important steps that you're going to be doing, because this will give some evenness to your face. This will make you look like I woke up like this, I'm a natural beauty sort of a situation. So you really need to choose your concealer properly. If need be, go into a store and try some concealers on and see what really works for you. And I also need you to choose a concealer that's very close to your skin tone. And how you're going to match that is not by matching it on the back of your hand, on your wrist, or anywhere else. I need you to match it to your jawline. Jawline is where you have most amount of color and less amount of discoloration. And if you have a lot of discoloration on your jaw, just test it against your cheek, test it against an area that's your actual skin tone, right? So I'm going to test it right here, and you can see how similar it is. Once especially you blend it out, it just disappears into my skin like there was nothing here, and that's what we are going for. So I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I have the shade Macadamia. And if we are shade twins, then this is going to be your perfect match. Now I know NARS is more on the expensive side of things, but as I always say, if you want to invest in your makeup, base is where you should be putting your money in. And especially a concealer is so versatile, so wearable, and you can actually get usage out of it. This is something you should definitely look at. Now this is my second tube, and even this one has so much of windowing going on. I absolutely love this one. And they also have a pot concealer that's so beautiful, and I have finished one of those back in the day as well. If you have a lot of active acne, then you should look at the pot concealer because that will actually stick onto the smoother skin on the acne area as well. But I love this concealer. Now for some reason, if you don't want to invest into your concealer, because I understand budget is a real thing, we are in real life, you can also look at Maybelline's Fit Me concealer. That's a beautiful option to have as well. Now what we're actually looking at is a self-setting concealer. So basically we're going to be skipping powder, and I know controversial, very controversial, but concealers like these are actually self-setting, so they don't move much once they set down on your face. They're not going to budge too much, they're not going to crease too much. So Too Faced has a really good self-setting concealer. Then of course NARS is here, Maybelline is here. Insight also has a great concealer that works really well and is very long lasting as well. So that is something we're looking at. First of all, you need it to be a perfect shade match, and secondly, you are looking at something that's self-setting, and thirdly, of course, whatever's your budget is what that concealer should be off as well. So these are the three criteria, the main three criteria that we are looking at. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this concealer, and we're only going to spot correct. So I'm going to go right here on my under eyes because my dark circles have been thriving and living, but I'm not going to go completely on top of my eyes. So we're not making a full circle. I'm mostly concentrating on my under eyes, and I'm going to also make a line right here. Then I'm also going to go on my mustache area, for as a lot of women have. I also have pigmented mustache area, and then a couple of areas where I do have some acne scarring going on because I'm just human. I break out and I have, discoloration here and there. So I'm just going to cover all of that up. And again, what did we say? Jaldi kam shaitan ka, and we're no shaitans here. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for, I would say, about a minute or so. We want this concealer to set down a little bit more because again, we are looking at a self-setting concealer, and we're giving it some time to also get a little tacky, so we get more coverage, we get a better finish, and we get more longevity out of this concealer. So you can again just do some other work for a minute or so till this concealer is setting in. You can also apply a lip tint on your lips right now if you really want your makeup to be long lasting. You know what, actually I'm going to do that. I have my Milk Makeup lip tint. I wasn't planning on doing this, but now that I remembered it, I'm going to do this. Now if we are again looking at really long lasting makeup, this is going to be a great step. What I've been doing is I've been taking a tint like this that tends to stain your skin a little bit. So that's again the main criteria that we're looking at, and I'm just going to apply it on my lips. What this will do is, even if your lipstick fades away, you're going to have some color on your lips that will make you look alive and fresh and all of that. So I'm just going to apply this all over my lips, and that will ensure that we have successfully killed a minute of our waiting game. of this concealer to really set down. And now I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to blend this out, and I'm not moving this, I'm just tapping this into place, because again, if you have a lot of acne scarring and if you have a lot of discoloration, you don't want to move the concealer way too much. You just want to set it wherever it is to get maximum coverage. And because we have prepped our skin so beautifully underneath, it's not going to go on, crusty or dry or patchy. It's just going to blend into your skin. And again, of course, the quality of your concealer will also matter right here. What you are using will make or break your look. So that's why I always say, if you really want to invest into makeup, base is where you should be investing at. Now, of course, if you are someone who wants more coverage on their skin, you can also do another thing, that take your concealer on the back of your hand, add it to your moisturizer, make your own tinted moisturizer of sorts and apply if you don't have a tinted moisturizer. If you already have a tinted moisturizer, you can use that as well. That's going to be a great step. But I've just been spot correcting and calling it a day. Now for my under eyes, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm just going to focus mostly on my under eyes, and I'm just going to blend this out. I'm doing gentle tapping motions with my ring finger. That's the most gentle finger for your under eyes. And don't worry, I'm not going to poke myself in the eyes with my nails. I know you guys worry about me all the time, but I've been doing this for 15 years now. Trust me, I know my way around working a concealer in with fake nails. And for my inner corners, I'm just going to apply this concealer for like just the inner corner part to brighten that up. And I'm going to use the darkness on my eyelid as an eyeshadow. It's going to look like I have a brown smoky shadow going on my eyes, because it's just the natural color that's good your eyes are going to have. So it's going to look like an eyeshadow. If you have a lot of hyperpigmentation on your eyes, you can actually make it work for you rather than you working on it, right? That's my mantra for makeup these days. I want it to work for me rather than me working extremely hard on it. So I'm just blending this concealer out, and this doesn't take a lot of time. I'm talking way too much, and that's why it's taking me so much time. And especially because we've also created this line right here, right? So we're canceling out any kind of pigmentation underneath this line. So it's going to look like we have created an eyeshadow out of, our eye discoloration. So I'm just going to be setting this into place, and I'm just going to let it sit for a bit, and I'm not going to powder it down. Now, if you have really, really oily skin and you do not trust your skin, then you can use a little bit of loose powder, I love the one that K has, or you can use any powder that works for you. Otherwise, if you have dry skin, trust me when I say this, powder tends to sometimes make your makeup look unnatural, because it just makes your makeup look a little too matte. Now, of course, there are powders in the market that have a glowy finish and whatnot, but nothing beats the look of just fresh concealer that has a very skin-like finish on your skin to make it look like skin-like. There was a lot of skin like in one sentence, right? But if you want your makeup to look like your skin, but better, then skip on some powder. Try it once. There's no harm in trying. If it doesn't work, you can always go back to your powder, right? It's just makeup. It washes off. It's nothing too serious. And now we're on to everyone's favorite step. Of course, I'm talking about a blush. Now, applying a blush automatically adds so much to your look, and it's an essential in my opinion, because trust me, there's so many days when I just apply a lip and cheek tint on my cheeks and lips, of course, and I don't even bother with anything, and it instantly adds so much life and color to my face. It adds some dimension, some flush, some beauty, and some overall jazz to your look. So even if you're not fluffing around with the concealer or anything else, just apply a blush and call it a day. I feel like this can be a look for days that you want to look a little extra put together, but we're still not going to be fluffing around with a contour, highlight, and all of that. We're just applying a blush and calling it a day. So today I'm going to be using my Maybelline Sunkisser blush, and this is the Hazy matte version. Of course, you can go for the dewy version as well if you love a little bit of glow, or if you just want to add a little bit of highlighter as well. Now, personally for me, I feel like this just adds the right amount of dimension to my face. It's not a drying matte. It's just a matte that adds a little bit of satiny glow and makes you look like you're naturally blushing. So I hope that's, making sense to you guys as well. Now, I'm going to use the shade Pink Mirage, but this actually is a pretty coral shade, and I love corals and apricots and all of that. I feel like that color tone against Indian skins is just so good. But of course, they have a couple of different options if you want to go for that. Now, I have a little tip for you guys right here that I've recently discovered while doing makeup as well. This is not something that I saw anywhere, but I just discovered while doing makeup, because I feel like this works best for me, especially if you are going to be using pigmented blushes. Don't dot it on your cheeks directly. Of course, that looks cute for Instagram, and of course that would work if you have a really dewy blush, if you have a blush that doesn't set really quickly and all of that. But if you have a pigmented blush that can leave streaks, like dot streaks on your face, just apply it on your fingers or on the back of your hand, okay? Either here or here, either or would do, you can just mix it up on the back of your hand first and then tap it on your cheeks to get the most natural look. And just look at that massive difference between both of these sides. This side has so much more dimension, life, color, and all of that, and it looks beautiful. These shades against Indian skin, I mean, I am so obsessed. And because this is a really long lasting blush as well, even their highlighter blushes are really long lasting, but I feel like there could have been more shades in that. I did do a paid partnership with them, and I think I've said in the paid partnership as well that I would like to see more shades from them in that range. So if you are looking for something that would give you a beautiful flush and just add so much more life to you, then check out the matte version. They just have some gorgeous shades in there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well, and as you can see, I have no streakiness, no blotchiness, even though this formulation is really forgiving and easy. I'm talking if you are, I'm talking about if you are going for like rare beauty sort of blushes that are super pigmented and not super forgiving as well, then you can do this trick. You can just take it up directly on your finger or on the back of your hand. Both of these things would work, and then go on your cheeks. Don't dot it and then wait for it to blend it out and all of that. It's gonna end up disastrously for you. But just look at how just it instantly adds a lot of life. Now with the clean finger, I'm going to go on the edges of my blush to blend it into my concealer. And also because we've not set it completely, we can still get a nice blend right there. What this will do is it will give me a nice seamless look. You see how I have like a stripe of blush here, but here it's more like it's blending into it. Yeah, that is what we are going for. So I'm just going to go on the edge around the blush to make sure that I have a much more seamless look going on. Now onto the eyes, and the first thing I'm going to tackle are my brows, because brows really frame your face. So I think they deserve at least 1 minute in your routine, even if it's a 5 minute routine, even if you're not doing anything else. Just give a little shape to your brows and it automatically makes you look so much more put together. So today I'm going to be using my NYX brow glue. Now I'm using the transparent version, but if you have sparse brows or if you don't have a lot of volume and you need to add some color to your brows, they also have a brown version, or you can also look at Thick It Stick It. Even that works beautifully because that has hair fiber in it as well. This one is just a pure brow glue, and because I do have semi-thick brows, I think this would work for me as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pushing my brow hair upwards. Now I have really stubborn brow hair, so I'm just going to stick it down with the help of my finger. Again, you want to ensure that your finger is clean, you don't have any blush or concealer on it to not get anything stuck in your brows, because that will not be a cute look. So I'm just sticking it down to ensure that I have some volume, some framing to my face, and they're not just falling flat. Now don't worry, right now I might look a little cuckoo, a little crazy, but it's all gonna come together. It's all gonna look, well in place. Don't worry. I know sometimes it is the journey and you gotta trust the process. So I'm trusting the process here. You should as well. And again, this would just give you a laminated sort of a look, which looks great on an everyday basis. I'm not messing up this right now because I know my brow hair and I know how stubborn they can be, and right now all they need is some tough love with me just sticking them upright rather than sticking them where I actually want them to be. So I'm just going to be doing that, and this just helps in my brow hair to just stay in place, add some dimension to my face. It just makes you look like you've put in some effort without it actually even being over a minute. I know you might be thinking this 5 minute tutorial has been going on for way too long, but once you get a hang of this and once you do this without talking as much as I'm talking, you can definitely do this in 5 minutes. I've been doing this in 5 minutes for I think more than a year now. This has been my go-to makeup and go-to routine as well. So I'm just going to be diving a little onto this side and making sure that this is not as upright and sticking it right in place just to get a little fluffiness in my brows. That is all we're going for. And now onto the eyes, the only thing I'm going to do is a mascara, and I have my Clinique High Impact Mascara right here. Now there are so many great affordable mascaras out there in the market. Maybelline does some really good ones. Essence does some good ones. So you can definitely check those out. Currently, this is the one that I'm using, and I want to use it for like a 6-month period before it like dries out and everything, because this is an expensive one. And I'm just going to be coating my lashes with this. Now this is a great mascara. Again, if you are looking at investing into it, you can check this one out. You can check some Benefit mascaras out if you want to like spend on a mascara. However, personally speaking, from my personal, wisdom and knowledge and experience, I feel like mascaras shouldn't be as costly as what this is, only only because they go bad so quickly. Now I get it that you're going really near your eyes and everything, but there are safe formulations out there in the market that won't break your bank. Now if you get anything on your eyes, don't worry about it. Don't try to clean it up when it's wet. Let it dry down and then it just flakes right off. But what we are essentially doing right here is adding some color to our lashes and some volume to our lashes as well. And because we already have that shadowing on our eyes from our natural pigmentation, it's just gonna look like we've done a one and done eyeshadow and then we've gone in with some mascara. It just looks absolutely stunning. This is something I've been doing off late and so many of you wanted a tutorial, and I always feel like it's not going to be helpful to anyone, so I shy away because I've done so many no makeup tutorials and 5-minute makeup tutorials. I feel like I don't want you guys to get bored, and because I love to play around with makeup as well, that I want to do something more creative. But let me know if you like to see more no makeup tutorials, or like tutorials like these where we just sit down and I give you so many tips that I've learned throughout the way or throughout my journey, because I would love to do that as well, because I understand that on most days these are the kind of looks that you would be wearing as well. Not everyone is out there taking 50 minutes to do their makeup and 20 minutes for their eyeshadow. Most of you have like 5 minutes and you want to look put together. So let me know if you like to see more tutorials like these, and I would definitely do them, because I have so many more tricks up my sleeve that I've learned, and I can just share so much more with you. There's only so much I can pack in one video. If you like to see more of like face tint situation or not a concealer situation, or more powder situation and not any liquid situation, then let me know and we can definitely do more videos on that. But I'm just gonna be mascaraing up my other eyelash as well, which I think is gonna be a little bit boring for you, so we're just gonna edit this part out now. And finally we are on to our last step, which is going to be our lipstick. And for that everyday sort of a look, I've been really preferring those glossy balmy lipsticks. So I have the NARS Click Sticks with me right here. I have two shades and I think I'm going to be mixing and matching these two up. They have a couple of shades, you can see if you like either, or these were recently featured on my top 5 under 500 as well. I really do enjoy them. So I have the shade Best Nude and then I have Glazed Peach. So I think I'm going to start off with Best Nude, which is a slightly deeper color. It's not a proper nude for me, but like a brownie nude. And these colors just make it look like you have naturally glossy lips, very flushed, very just juicy lips that look really nice on a natural everyday basis. So I'm very lightly going in with Best Nude, and then I'm going to go on top with Glazed Peach, and then I'm just going to apply this again all over my lips just to get a nice dimension going on, and also because we have that coral on our cheeks, that's going to look really beautiful against this peachy coral lip look as well. Again, if you are following a different color story, like maybe say a plum or a wine one, you could choose a lipstick accordingly. I'm just telling you that I've been really loving these glossy lip looks, and again, because we have that tint underneath, even if this fades away, we're always gonna have that. But these are really easy to carry as well. You can just touch it up whenever you feel like you need to touch up. These are not going to be transfer proof. There are some transfer proof glosses in the market that you can definitely check out if you want something that's extremely long lasting, but these just feel really comfortable as well. Not saying that those transfer proof glosses aren't comfortable, they can be as well, but this just feels so cushiony and so comfortable. I would highly suggest getting these. And that is how I've been easily doing my everyday sort of makeup looks that you guys seem to be loving. I really hope you enjoyed this video and this was helpful for you all. And if you end up recreating this look, then I would love to see how it looks on you. So tag me on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere, because I'm sure you will look fabulous as well. But I will see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.